Roadblocks, whatever that is.
All right, Dougie Fisher, we're live here at the Santa Monica track at the Heat Wave. There's JP. There's Coach Dave with the nice Triple G gear.
Ready. Thanks to you.
We got the here's the I don't know if people can tell how hot it is, but we got a pretty hot heat wave. There's Lorenzo Ball walking on the track. And
you see what he gave me, Tom? You see what Lorenzo gave me?
What do you get?
Look at that. Is he trying to tell me something?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I think that was meant when you were running all over the track.
Hey, I'm still repping HBO.
Yeah.
HBO Boxing.
Yeah, we need to get.
I get emails from folks saying, "Is HBO Boxing done? Are they finished?" And I say, "Well, they got a pretty good September.
You got a pretty good.
They're still in this. They got the Superfly card, which is this Saturday at StubHub Center. That's the best triple header that HBO or any other cable subscription, basic otherwise, has showcased in recent memory. I can't think of a better triple header, really. And there have been some good triple headers. And then, of course, on pay-per-view the next week, they've got Canelo Triple G. And then on September 23rd at the Forum in my hometown of Inglewood, they have the return of Jorge Linares, the lightweight champ, fighting an Olympic gold medalist. So
fighting Luke Campbell with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
And I think Luke Campbell's very, I don't know if he's underrated, but he's just not that well known over here, but that's going to be a tough fight.
It's a good fight. It's quality. He's an Olympic gold medalist, folks. He's very tall, very rangy. He's just got one loss, and everyone jumped off his bandwagon because he suffered one close loss. Come on, folks. It's a good fight.
Someone asked who's going to win between Monroe and Billy Joe Saunders.
That's the same kind of scenarios we had in Chihuahua, Mexico, with Antonio Margarito and Carson Jones. I would bet, like I told somebody, I would bet Carson if I was a betting man, if it was in a neutral area, but it's not. You can't bet. Well, I don't think you could bet. You couldn't bet Carson, and I don't think you could bet Willie Monroe Jr. He doesn't bring the eraser with his fists, and he's on Billy Joe Saunders' turf. Yeah. And Billy Joe Saunders is
I think when Saunders is motivated and when he's in shape,
yes,
he can
he's
be
a good
solid
fighter.
He had some good wins.
I've seen some footage of him training, Tom, and he's on track to make weight, and he's got his speed and his fluidity, so he's taking Monroe seriously. So I think Saunders has the best.
Canelo Golovkin's not on a neutral area. That's okay.
Well, that's a good point.
We're aware of that, though.
Listen, Las Vegas is not fair.
We got the eraser.
Yeah, Triple G brings his neutralizing fist.
Yes, he brings his own judges.
You want to take over?
And but yeah, I mean, listen, if I was Triple G, I would be worried about it going the distance.
Jordan brand shirt.
Big drama show. There it is.
New Triple G collection.
And you know what, Tom? On your phone, I can see the detail. I can see the
There we go. Okay.
Now, would I say Kazakh flag or Kazakhstani flag, or would I say the Kazakhstan flag?
We should let everyone know where it's available and when, right? Because we got to redo it. So it's
okay. Hey, Danny McDonald 88 keeps asking this. Tom, will Triple G fight Canelo the way he fought David Lemieux? He's obsessed with this. You have to answer.
I'll answer it.
You answer it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly the same way.
Yeah. That would be smart.
Exactly.
Dave, you're giving away the whole game plan. No, it really, I think Canelo's a terrific counterpuncher. I think he's faster than Lemieux. I would say Lemieux, with his power, probably has the edge on the power. And
I doubt it, Mr. Boxing Guru. This guy asked if they make those shirts in his size. He's a big dude. I've seen it. I seriously doubt it.
But anyway, for the shirts, they're going to be at the Nike store in Vegas, and they're going to be online, Nike.com, I think after the 6th or after the 8th, right before Superfly hits on the 9th.
Okay.
So you guys are in Vegas for the fight.
No, that's a good looking shirt. I like it.
How much do they sell for?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know what the retail price is yet. This is just all a brand new process with Jordan. We've been pushing them for 2 years as the fans have been pushing me. So they finally, with the Canelo fight, they came out with a new collection.
This is the right time.
They got a hoodie. They got 2 of these shirts in black and 2 different ones in white and 2 different caps. So it's
nice.
It's a nice collection.
So how did you put that together?
That was a lot of hard work and a lot of persistence on that one. I think they just recognized that Gennady stood for the same values as the brand does. You know, they're really more into team sports like NBA, obviously. And,
what's up, Bernie?
NFL and
Bernie joined us.
Baseball, but they saw the international potential with Gennady, especially with his grandfather being from Korea, actually the Kazakh market that you know, they want to expand in. Kazakhstan has 17 million people that are huge Triple G fans. So anything that Triple G wears or represents, it's like it becomes an overnight sensation over there. So, I mean, Jordan is obviously popular worldwide, but that just with the Triple G line, I think it'll take it to a whole different level.
Now, Bernie asks, what about the Ring Magazine Super Flyweight belt? Get it out of mothballs. Put it on. I think it is on the line.
No, it's vacant.
It's vacant now, but I mean, but
our editor Michael Rosenthal over there to see, see what's going on, because
I know why. It's because of Inoue.
Inoue.
That's right. I was thinking maybe this rematch, it would be on the line.
Maybe we'll make a special petition for that. So
yeah.
that can challenge for the future.
I think there's going to be kind of a round robin at 115 pounds.
I mean, look at this card.
That's
here
as quality as some of the great welterweight round robins.
Shouldn't even say 6 fighters. It's going to be 7 fighters. Brian Valoria is on the undercard. He's a fan favorite here in LA. He bought a ton of tickets. We have a lot of people coming to see Brian.
Brian's popular.
Cuadras and Estrada.
That taps into the Mexican market.
Two of the top, top 5.
And that's an even money fight too. I can't pick a winner in that fight. Honestly, I can't.
Yeah, I think if Cuadras, with his speed, might be able to outbox Estrada, but Estrada gave Chocolatito a very tough fight when they fought. So that's a very even fight. Then you got Inoue. A lot of people, a lot of the Japanese fans especially, are looking forward to seeing the debut of Inoue over here in the United States. He's that kind of Triple G internet sensation,
right?
You know that
you hear about him now. You want to see him,
yeah. So this will be the first time he's fought here in the U.S. First time on HBO. He's fighting a very tough guy out of Cleveland, Ohio, Antonio Nieves.
Yeah, he's solid.
Very solid. He's training very hard and looking to. It's a huge stage for him. Looking when a guy like Nieves can get on the HBO platform, he's 100% motivated for the WBO title. And then we got as the main event the rematch of one of the best fights of the year, Rungvisai versus Chocolatito. Rungvisai's become a national hero in Thailand, and Chocolatito wants to get his title back. So I think both those guys are just going to be at the peak of their skills and bring out their fan bases. So we're going to have a big.
You can't diss this card.
Big mix of fans.
You can diss. Yeah, you can't.
Don't forget, Triple G is actually. I don't know if we officially announced that yet. I was going to put it on Twitter later today or tomorrow, but I always give you the scoops. Triple G is going to be in the house at StubHub.
Get out of here!
He's come back to where he broke the attendance record at StubHub. He set the attendance record, and now.
That was really kind of the launch pad for Triple G Mania in Mexican style.
That was full capacity. We couldn't get more people in there with the fire marshal. We had bleachers, we had standing room seats, we had, I think, a little over 9,000 people for that, for the StubHub.
So are there tickets left for Superfly?
There are some tickets left. The $30 tickets are sold out. But we just released some more of the great loge locations, the $150 tickets. There's $100 tickets and $60 tickets. And in the StubHub, there's no bad seats. So we definitely priced it,
folks,
very affordably, and we need a big push here the last week. It'll be a full house, and
it's going to be a great environment
the California
too.
skies like this, it's going to be a tremendous atmosphere on Saturday.
Yeah, bring a jacket, folks. It's and like a big kind of hat to cover your face from the sun.
It's going to be 80, which is comfortable.
The heat wave will be over, maybe.
Heat wave will be over, but then it's only going to get down to 70, so it's not going to get cold at night like sometimes it does in Carson. So it should be pretty.
This guy Danny McDonald has a lot of questions for you. They're good ones.
There will be a lot of cerveza there by Tecate.
Okay, good. You got it.
Top sponsor. Chivas is one of the sponsors of the show. Cafe Agave is a new sponsor for boxing. So
make sure there's lots of beverage. And people drink lots of water too.
We got to figure out something for all the fans that love to tailgate at the StubHub.
And how about get in there? How should they drive?
How should they drive? Like they just won the lottery. I mean, just take it easy. Like you want to live forever. Come on. Give yourself time and then take your time.
Yep. So many people are writing and asking about the release date. After the 6th, guys. After the 6th.
Yeah, after the 6th.
Yeah.
Either September 6th is the earliest. Most likely around the 8th or so, but definitely supposed to be before the Superfly.
Nike.com or Nike store in Vegas. That's your answer, guys.
Oh, will there be Triple G merchandise at the Superfly show?
Yes, there will.
There will be.
Moe's Fire.
Triple
G is coming to the fight,
Good
and
question.
we're going to be selling Triple G merchandise there at the Superfly show. So we're trying to accommodate all the boxing fans for that show.
Do you remember the first time?
Ahmed, yes, Triple G will be at Superfly. Canelo? Nah, I don't think so.
Canelo's training.
But you never know, you know, if you see some guy with red hair and a beard, you know, with a hoodie, kind of scoping out. Oh yeah, he might be there. Fake Canelo might be there.
Yeah.
Is Canelo going to get the same hairstylist he got for the Mayweather fight?
No, that would
I
jinx
knew
everything.
that was the kiss of death for him.
I don't remember that.
Come on, he was 22.
He went crazy with his hair, you know, went fancy.
Tom, don't listen to Dave. Dave's a Canelo hater. He's a Canelo hater.
Maybe we'll send the barber over.
Dissing Canelo. Look at this. There you go.
Hey, but my man,
Triple G doesn't need that
my
help.
man that I love did the same thing. That's Algeria when he fought Pacquiao.
Oh.
He had his hairstylist.
Yeah,
going
then you
over
knew it
to,
was over. That's when you know. It's like,
No, I knew it was over then.
Yeah.
Triple G's easy with his hair. He just gets it trimmed up. Shout out to Fernie, the barber, who was out there by I think out by Riverside area. He went up. He actually drove up. They drive up to camp now and get everyone at the same time.
So Tom, you've also got another fighter that's in action on September 9. That's the WBO Cruiserweight champ, Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
And he's fighting the former champ, Marco Huck. Is that how you say it? Huck or Huck?
Marco Huck. Yeah,
Huck.
Marco Huck.
In Germany, where Huck is pretty big, as you know.
Yeah, he's popular. Yeah, that fight wound up in Berlin. Look, Usyk's the type of guy, just like with Triple G, he'll go anywhere to fight.
That's
He
true.
won his title. Well, first he won the gold medal in the London Olympics. Then he broke Evander's record. He won the WBO title.
In Poland, fighting an undefeated Polish fighter.
Poland against the guy that knocked out Hook, and now he's fighting Hook in Germany. But he's been on HBO twice so far, Usyk, and if he wins the tournament, we expect him to come back onto HBO and just continue that momentum that he has.
And Bernie reminds us that Mike Perez, who's also a K2 fighter, is also in the tournament.
Mike Perez is on the show. He's
that's
Irish,
interesting.
Irish Mike Perez.
Yeah. The Rebel, right?
He's been on HBO a few times, and
interesting to see how he does at 200
fighting
pounds.
At 200 pounds
Yeah.
is a completely different proposition than fighting a guy like Povetkin at 240 pounds in Moscow. So I think Mike could actually be the dark horse of that,
I think he is.
I'm
on record with that, as a matter of fact. I put that in a mailbag.
He could really do some great things. Abel has Murat Gassiev training up there in Big Bear.
He's one of the favorites, along with Usyk. And Usyk, to me, is the favorite.
Right now are Usyk and Gassiev to fight each other in the final. But you never know. On this type of tournament, you never know with so many talented fighters. And you got to give those guys credit for putting that
What's
together.
up with Breakhouse, Cecilia Breakhouse?
Cecilia Breakhouse she's
the only undisputed champ again.
Right.
She did have some company for like 1 week with Terrence Crawford.
ESPN slipped up on that one. ESPN, I was disappointed with them. They're so pro female athletics and female athletes, and then they totally spaced out. It might have been Teddy Atlas who doesn't have Triple G.
There you go. That's a Teddy thing.
Somehow they spaced out. Teddy doesn't seem to follow the European champions so closely, but.
Well, he's got Loma. Loma his guy, so he figured he's got all of Europe covered with
that's
being a Loma booster.
Yeah. But
no excuse,
Cecilia is supposed to fight sometime in late October back in Norway. She's wildly popular in Norway. Sells out arenas. And last time she was in open air.
We gotta talk to you about getting those Breakhouse fights streamed live over here.
We'll figure something
Let's
out.
figure something out.
You know what? Fox Sports has been playing her last fight on replay. And I think it's Fox Sports, and the atmosphere is incredible.
Teddy Atlas is boxing.
She's a huge star in Norway.
Okay, dude.
I mean, it's incredible when she fights in Norway.
And we saw her last fight live.
Right. You and I saw it on a stream from Argentina because Farias was from Argentina. So TYC.
And don't forget on Superfly, we'll go back to that. Sinisa Estrada is a local fan favorite. She's
on
the
it.
Show. Yeah.
I look at her as a future opponent for Marlon.
Sure.
Is it Marlon Esparza?
Yeah, I think.
The Olympian who signed to Golden Boy.
Similar weight class. Ruslan Madaev, who also trains with Abel up there. He's fighting a very tough guy. I forgot the guy's name, but he's like 22-3. And Ruslan has like.
This is the Superfly undercard?
That's the Superfly undercard.
Are there going to be any streams for that?
That one we're going to work on too.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, if the undercard fights are quality.
If not, we're going to have you there with the Periscope.
There you go.
Stream the undercard.
Just tell the security guards that I'm cleared.
Is Abel always cool?
Abel is cool as a cucumber under pressure. I've never seen him lose his cool. He's especially preparing for a fight. He's a consummate professional.
Yeah.
He has all of his things organized. Everything's so meticulous. He has
This
a
ain't
game
his first
plan.
rodeo.
You know, it's just by the time they get to the arena and then how they, you know, I mean, you saw, I think McGregor, they forgot their cup in the hotel room, which was, I watched the replay
Jesus
last night
Christ.
on Showtime. And,
You know, that might have been staged.
I don't think so.
Might.
The way
Come
that
on.
Mayweather had
Everything
a
was
cup for him,
scripted.
you know,
Everything
we
of that
followed
fight
him
was
because they knew that would
scripted, people.
happen. But you know, I don't know. You know,
you don't know what was staged or not.
Well, the whole, hey, they
could have
did
been a few things.
I tell you what, they did a great job.
No, they did.
They did a great job.
It was entertainment, and that's what the fans wanted. I mean, they paid a lot of fans bought it on pay-per-view. They paid the $100, and so you got to give credit to both. Look, Floyd and Conor, they're both marketing geniuses, and to put that fight together. You know, a lot of boxing purists, you know, they don't think it should be counted as an actual win in boxing, but you know, certainly just like Ali and Inoki, you know, that was entertainment of two different fighting genres, and I think Conor, whether Floyd allowed him or not,
That dude's badass right there. Yeah, I ain't joking around.
Conor made a great account of himself.
And he can really talk.
Yeah,
I watched the replay last night, and he's good. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
He can market himself, and the thing with Conor, a lot of guys are just talking.
Somebody asked if next year we'll get Conor McGregor versus Triple G.
Now that he has one professional fight, now he
JP,
might be qualified.
that is a death match.
You can't even set
Straight
odds
up,
for that.
That's straight up
Yeah,
death.
I set the over under 1.5 rounds.
Well,
No, but
Yeah.
McGregor would do that fight.
With Conor probably would do that fight.
Yeah, fight anybody.
And you should do that fight too. I mean,
But if
that's
you look at like some good, how are you? But if you look at
that's balls down.
Lonzo Ball's father,
He's nice.
Yeah, I appreciate the
if you look
T-shirt.
at what the people, what Conor does. You know, a lot of people say, you know, he talks nonsense, but if you really break down, I mean, he's a marketing genius. I mean, what he's accomplished, you know, he's not an undefeated fighter, but people just like to see him.
No, he's a competitor,
They like
and
to
he's
see
a
him
showman.
fight.
There's no doubt about
And what he
that.
did with Nate Diaz, you know, he went up 25 pounds and fought Diaz on short notice, and then did the rematch with him, and then beat him in the rematch. So you know, and then his win over Aldo.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what he should do. Honestly, is the rubber match with Nate Diaz. I mean, I don't care to see him fight boxers.
I mean, that's up to Dana.
But that's just me. That's just me.
But supposedly he's coming back, I think, in December to his natural environment in the cage. But yeah, I mean, now that he went 10 rounds with, you know, one of the best fighters in the history of boxing, maybe he's qualified for another fight. But I think he's going to stick to the UFC. That's everything that I get is he's going to stick to the UFC.
Somebody asked earlier. He's asking a lot of questions, and he's got to be from the UK because he was asking you if you know about Luke Campbell and so forth.
Sure, I know about Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell, like I said, is I think he's not that well known over here, but he's a very tough competitor. I think
Jorge Linares has his hands full on September 23rd.
Jorge's a great fighter, but you never know. You know, one of these younger guys coming up could catch him on the right day.
Yeah, you pull him into a grueling fight, the face comes apart, he doesn't have a world-class chin, so anything can happen. But yeah, Campbell was an Olympic gold medalist. He's a good boxer. He's got good size. Good body puncher. You're right about that, JP. JP does his homework.
What's the
Anybody
price
who
on that fight?
Linares is a 3-to-1 favorite. Not overwhelming favorite. Not overwhelming favorite. 3-to-1.
So who are you picking?
Right now, Linares, but I could change my mind. I want to see how they look. He's a good fighter, Luke Campbell. I thought that he actually came back and beat Mendy in that fight. He got up from a knockdown. And
Mendy's the one guy who beat him. That's when everybody in the UK jumped off the bandwagon, which I think is ridiculous.
It was very close, and Mendy got a split, but what was very telling about the fight is that Mendy never has wanted the rematch. They've tried and tried. Mendy.
There you
Remember
go.
we saw Linares get knocked out at the Staples?
Yeah, against DeMarco. That broke my heart. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, rocking my old Margarito T design from Red Corner Apparel. Yeah. Y'all see that? This is
Antonio Margachito.
badass.
So you guys can, let's see, watch Usyk fight in the afternoon, drive safely to StubHub on Saturday night, and see the great card of the year on the 9th, the flyweights. Do you want to talk about the odds? It's even money for Estrada and Quadras. Inoue.
Who are you picking?
No, that's a tough call.
I can't call it.
I can't call that fight. Inoue is a 15-1 favorite, which you would expect, but that's only because people don't know Nieves, and there's
That's too big. That's too wide.
But you got to understand how odds makers do it. It's a cult following thing.
Yeah.
And Inoue, they have to set him a big favorite because he's like the thing.
Plus his first fight outside of
Right.
Japan.
Yeah, and not everybody travels well.
A lot of
That's
well-known
right.
American fighters don't travel outside the country.
And there's a reason.
You know, when you leave your safety zone, your environment, and
Your
you go
routine.
internationally, it's
Yeah.
a whole different thing. It's different food, it's different hotels, it's different restaurants. You know,
That's
the
right.
gym, everything is different. So
Different
Yeah.
judges. So I'm rooting for Inoue, but I wouldn't lay that price. But in the main event, La Revancha, the revenge, Chocolatito is maybe surprising to some. He's about a 3-1 favorite, but
surprising to me.
it's surprising, but I'm taking it because I think he's going to win this fight.
Because he's a great fighter.
I think
that's
he's a
why.
great fighter, and he's going to win this fight. But it is surprising because he did get beat in the first fight. But he opened actually around 2-1, and he's been bet up a little bit the last day or so to 3-1. So those are the odds for Saturday night. But it is going to be incredible, the atmosphere, incredible.
Tom, do you rate, or how do you rate Chris Eubank Jr.? Somebody just asked that. It's the same UK fan.
Look, Chris Eubank, again, you know, I met his father when I was over there actually for the Dillian White fight against Anthony Joshua, and I saw him. He was staying at the same hotel that we were, and I saw him in the lobby, and he's a pretty entertaining guy.
He's interesting, isn't he?
He's pretty entertaining, and with the marketing job he's done with his son, and I think Eubank Jr., I think Chris Jr. is just, you know, kind of coming into his own now. I mean, he lost to Saunders, but I think he's got that you know, potential where he could really take over that division. He's in that.
The Super Series will let us know. That will answer our questions about Eubank.
I mean, that made Andre Ward's career. No one really knew who Ward was before that. And then when he beat guys like Froch or Abraham or
Mikkel Kessler.
Kessler, all in the U.S., but he's still got the victories over them. But that's the type of thing that can propel your career. And Andre, after he won the Super 6, he was on top, you know, on top of boxing. And I think if Eubank could win, then that propels his career.
If you could promote one fighter from the UK, not named Anthony Joshua, who would it be?
Well,
that's a question from much earlier, and I think that's how he phrased it.
Wow, that's a good question. There's so many talented guys. I like Tony Bellew.
Oh yeah,
Tony Bellew.
Promoter's dream. That's a good choice. I like that.
He's an entertaining guy. He's pulled out, you know, some great victories recently.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he stood up. I mean, when I saw Tony against David Hay at the weigh-in, I texted Eddie. I'm like, "You sure you want to do this fight?" I mean, it's just, boy. I mean, the way Hay just looked so much bigger, and then the way Tony took him apart. I mean, you know, arguably, I guess David had an injury, but I mean, you know, just showing the heart in there,
But Bellew had to stay in there for that injury to occur.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah,
he's a marketable guy, and so I think he's the type of guy who will fight anyone also. So I'd probably go with Tony Bellew. I like
That's a great choice. That's a great choice.
Because I know fans always ask about the weigh-ins. Can people go to the Superfly weigh-in the day before?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good point, JP. We actually made it. It's going to be on the concourse. With concession stands open. It's going to be on the concourse at StubHub, open to the public, just like we did when Triple G fought Rubio there. Cool. It'll also be live streamed. It should be on the HBO website.
That's perfect.
On the satellite. But
good.
Yeah, we try to make these events as fan-friendly as possible, and that way the fans can see, you know, with the odds maker, they can see him live on the scale. They can see their favorite fighter. And have a much closer interaction with them. I remember when Triple G was walking to the scale against Rubio, and he was signing autographs and taking photos. I think I was actually coming off the scale, but anyway, you get a much closer interaction at the weigh-ins than you do at fight night, where you have all the security and you have to be so far away from the ring. So that's what the fans really appreciate, seeing their favorite fighters live.
So how are you going to control the crowd with Triple G at the fights next Saturday? I remember the first time you took him there. It was right after he won, you know, had his first fight in New York.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was there and people came up to him, but it was no big deal. It was like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
So how are you going to control that? Because, you know, he's got a...
If you remember, we took him then after that to the forum, and he was just surrounded. We couldn't move him to a seat. He was surrounded by, at every point he was walking forward, surrounded by at least 20, 30 people. just wanting his autograph. So we're going to have a lot of security there, but I think the fans, look, Triple G's a likable guy. He's got the big fight coming up with Canelo. The fans like to see him. They like to see the fact that he interacts with the fans as well, and it'll be a great homecoming for him, where he, like I said, he broke the record at the StubHub Center.
Remember you took him to Montebello?
Yeah, took him to Montebello. Yeah, to the Quiet Canyon. Yeah.
And James Tony was there.
James Tony was there.
Did they take a picture together?
Yeah.
I have a picture.
Oh, that's great. That's
James.
two badass middleweights right there.
Yeah. No, James was one of the most athletically gifted fighters I've ever seen, athletes that I've ever seen. And I worked with James for about 3 or 4 fights, and he was the most talented out inside the ring, outside the ring. He was probably one of the most undisciplined, but he just won on his natural talent. I mean, he was a great football player. I think he was a quarterback in high school. I mean, a lot of people don't really recognize his athletic talents, but James was,
he was a born boxer, though.
But
He was a born fighter.
Fights.
Yeah.
Who was his teacher?
Bill Miller.
Yeah.
The late great Bill Miller.
Fox Miller, yeah,
That's
from,
right.
From Detroit, yeah.
Yep.
Legendary
People are
trainer.
asking, how about the following week, Triple G Canelo weigh-in? T-Mobile, is that?
That will be at the MGM. That'll be at the MGM Grand Garden.
Okay.
That'll be indoors, so people don't have to bake in the Vegas heat. Hopefully by the end of the week, when we do the Superfly weigh-in, the heat wave,
It's supposed to come down Wednesday.
They're projecting about
It's over
80,
tomorrow.
81.
Tomorrow it's over.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll
Good.
be comfortable for everyone
And
that
fans
wants
can
to
go
come.
to that.
Yeah, for Superfly and for the MGM weigh-in. Yeah,
There you go,
absolutely.
guys.
Yeah.
When are you going to Vegas?
We're going to fly up Monday evening. He's going to. Oh,
That's when I'm going.
See, I'm breaking all the news before all the press releases come out, Fred.
Yeah.
they're going to not be happy with me, all the publicists. But he's throwing out the first pitch at all the Dodger fans. He's throwing out the first pitch at Dodger Stadium. I think this is now the third time he's doing it. September 10th, the day after Superfly.
September 10th. Okay,
he's
Sunday.
Fly, Sunday, September
Right
10th.
on.
I think they're playing the Rockies, I believe.
All right.
But he's going to throw out the first pitch September 10th, so all the fans can see him there. They can interact with him at Dodger Stadium, and then we're going to fly to Vegas on Monday, and then the grand arrival is Tuesday at the MGM.
And that will be streamed live on ringtv.com,
Yeah.
as will the
all
final
that.
press conference, as will the fighter workouts, as will the undercard press conference, and of course the weigh-in. The weigh-in show is going to be huge.
Our friends at Ring TV have been very supportive. They produced their own show, Mano a Mano, with Abel Sanchez.
That's coming out.
And Eddie Reynoso. So I don't know if I was supposed to leak that one or not.
Oh,
but,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it should be.
That I don't know if it's out yet.
I think they're finishing it.
But
They had they have a long weekend to work on that.
might
And I
be,
think they've been grinding.
coming out next week, but that's.
Oh yeah, no, definitely next week.
It's like a face-off between the two. I mean, there's so many different facets to the level of how high of a world-class fight this is between Canelo and Triple G, and then the two trainers facing off against each other.
Yeah, that was a good thing. The
So
stare
many
down that
different,
Beto Duran
storylines.
hosted, he did
Yeah.
a really good job, and it was great to see how much respect both trainers have for each other and for their fighters. Here's a question that keeps popping up:
right.
Will the winner of Canelo Triple G fight the winner of Saunders Monroe?
Well, it's been Triple G's dream to unify all the titles, to become undisputed champion. We tried to do it. We actually tried to do it last year when we did the Kell Brook fight. We tried to do the fight with first we tried to do with Canelo, then we tried to do the unification fight with Saunders, and we tried to do it with Eubank Jr. But we tried to unify. It's still Gennady's dream. Depending on who wins.
For some reason, 2016, nobody wanted to fight Triple G.
It was like
They needed one more year. They're like, you know
was-
what? When he turns 35,
it was,
it's on, okay? And
it
now
it was a curse. I mean,
Yeah.
I was trying to get everyone, and we were paying record
something about
paydays.
looking at his name in 34 years of age was just really terrifying.
It
And now,
wasn't like-
35? Okay, let's do it. Come on. Yeah.
It wasn't like we were, underpricing it. We were.
No, you
offering
guys were offering record money for everybody.
record
yeah.
money. I mean, career paydays for all these guys, and,
Yep.
and none of them accepted it. But
Yep.
now the Canelo fight is happening, and he sold out the O2 Arena against Kell Brook. Then he beat Danny Jacobs at another sold out MSG. Now he's fighting Canelo, and this is arguably the two. Here's the unique thing, Doug, and Dave, you'll I'm sure agree with this as well. It's very rare. Sometimes you'll get two of the best fighters in the
Danny,
sport.
I don't think those were bad performances either, but yeah, you're right.
but you'll get two great fighters in the sport, but these two are also two of the most marketable fighters in the sport. A lot of times that doesn't go hand in hand.
Right.
Where, you know, one time one of the fighters has to carry a promotion, but, you know, these two fan bases, you know, Gennadi's got a huge fan base, Canelo.
They both have dedicated
fan
fans.
Base, and a lot of international fans are coming in for this. This is really more than a boxing match. This is an international sporting event, and that's what I think that's what the fans have been looking forward to at the highest level of the sport of boxing. And you know, Gennadi's risking all of his titles. Oh, but to get back to the undisputed thing, I mean, you saw Terence Crawford just you know, unified all the titles, and then he had
junior
to vacate,
welterweight.
he had to vacate the IBF title. I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, sanctioning bodies put pressure on you when you're at a certain level, and then you have to fight, you know, mandatory.
It's very hard to hold more than 2 belts.
We took a lot of heat for the weight fight, but the IBF made it clear after he knocked out Lemieux, if you don't defend the IBF title against the mandatory, who was Toriano Johnson, then Johnson got injured, and that they didn't care about that. They're like, okay, the next highest guy is Wade.
Yeah.
And if Gennady didn't fight Wade, he would have gotten stripped. And so what's the point of just winning the title and then giving it up? So it's become
as long as you fight often, and if you're like Triple G and you could pack an arena like the Forum, because wasn't the Forum sold out for Wade?
Forum was sold out for Wade.
Freaking sold out for Dominic Wade.
Yep. And
come on.
You got Anthony Joshua has the same problem now. He's got to fight Pulev is his mandatory, then WA is a mandatory. So, you know,
I'm okay with that. So, you know, just don't make that your only fight. You know, if you got to fight a mandatory,
that's the problem. The guys that only fight once a year, then it becomes a problem. You know, Gennady, you know, fights typically 3 times. You know, if he's successful against Canelo, we're going to try to sneak in another fight by the end of the year.
Like December?
Yeah, by December. Yeah. But I mean, everyone's focused on Canelo. Everyone knows if he doesn't beat Canelo, then there's nothing to plan. You know, in the future. So we're looking forward to September 16th at T-Mobile.
All right, Tom. Hey, I appreciate you taking this time out and letting us use your phone and your Periscope account where we get a lot more viewers.
I think it was the clouds. I think when the sun came out now that...
but the sun is out now, and we're like literally, we're probably going to pass out. It's
getting
hot. But your phone is held out, man.
It's getting hot. I think it's the heat from Superfly coming up. It's less than a week now, so that's why everything is heating up.
Get to StubHub Saturday night.
There's heat from Superfly, and there's heat from September 16th, because the next 2 weeks, it's just a boxing fan's dream. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, really, all of September is a terrific matchups for boxing, and you know, it was really kicked off by Mayweather McGregor, and now, you know, with that spotlight,
taking the momentum,
going into
let's run with it
into these fights,
and show folks some real competitive fights. You know what I mean? There won't be any carrying in these fights. I guarantee that.
Between Superfly, those 3 matchups on Superfly. Then the week later.
And these guys are training. Coach has a theory that Mayweather did not train a day for Conor McGregor. He might be right with that, which is really sad. I can guarantee you that Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez have trained their asses off for this fight, and have had some of their best camps, because Gennady is motivated. He's intense, and you see it, because this is something he's wanted for so long. And with Canelo, he's not thinking about cutting those last 6 to 5 pounds.
That's right.
He's actually training at a more natural weight now.
To me, Canelo looks so much better at 100. Well, I haven't seen him at 160. At 164, he looked tremendous against Chavez.
But I think he's been a natural middleweight since last year.
Squeezing down to 154,
and
155.
he shouldn't have been doing that. He shouldn't have been boiling down to 155 and 154. And now that he's over that mental hurdle, it's like he can actually train at a healthy weight, and he'll be stronger on fight night.
And then Ryan Martin on the Triple G show, the September 16th.
He kicks off the pay-per-view broadcast.
First fight on pay-per-view. That's actually we scheduled it an hour earlier, so the fight ends 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock Pacific time.
Pacific time. Specifically, so the East Coast fans can see the main event before midnight. You know that. Triple G and Canelo should be in the ring by 11 o'clock, which I know the East Coast fans are going to appreciate.
Yeah.
Ryan Martin's in a tough fight. He's fighting Francisco Rojo from Mexico.
WBC rated lightweight.
Yeah, top 10 WBC rated. He's that's a big step up fight for Ryan, but you know, he's got to take these type of fights if he's going to perform on that type of stage. You know, he's got to take these challenging fights.
And Joseph Diaz Jr. is on the card against an unbeaten fighter. Lara, what's Lara's first name?
Jorge Lara?
I think so. He's a tough guy from Mexico. He's the guy he blasted out Fernando Montiel in 1 round.
It's not Arislani Lara.
No. This guy's way more exciting. Yeah. And then there's what's the guy? Diego De La Hoya is fighting Randy Caballero, and that's a fight I can't pick. I don't know who wins.
2 undefeated guys.
Yeah.
Pick 'em. It's a good fight.
So let me ask you, Tom.
Yeah.
How many pay-per-views do you think you're going to do for Triple G fight?
You know, we're always optimistic on our promotions. We just do the best job we can to promote it, and you know, hopefully the fans will see, you know, the type of quality matchups we put together. So.
And what are you shooting for? What would you be happy
Look,
with?
we can put it this way: Canelo did $1 million against Chavez Jr., and I think the Triple G fight should do much more than that.
And Liam Smith too.
No, they didn't do $1 million for Liam Smith.
They did a lot though.
They did like 300,000.
No, it was in that range, yeah.
Maybe 400,000.
Okay, I retract that.
But anyway,
I'll make a prediction. I'll make a pay-per-view prediction,
Yeah.
and I know I'm right. The online pay-per-view will break the record.
that
It
could
will
be.
break the
Yeah,
online,
that could be.
both English and Spanish. The online pay-per-view
I think that's
for Canelo
available
Golovkin
on,
will smash the record.
That's on the Ring TV also, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So would you say 2 millions? Realistic.
Look, you know, if
That's
I put out
realistic.
numbers and they don't hit a number or they
Okay,
exceed
well,
a number,
okay.
then I'll get the criticism.
Okay,
but
I'll-
I like when Doug makes predictions.
Okay, I'll
like that.
answer
Yeah.
it for you. Okay, this is how I see it. Before the fight last week, I think it would have done maybe $1.25 million. Now I think
thinking
there's a
$1.5 million.
chance, $1.5 million for sure, and maybe $2 million. There's so much more boxing awareness to the general public, to the general sports fan, the amount of publicity it got, and this fight's really a good fight. Canelo and Triple G are both big draws. I wouldn't be shocked if it did the two.
If Triple G can break 1 million pay-per-view buys in his third pay-per-view, he did 150 against Lemieux, did 170 against Jacobs. Actually, a little more than 170, like
Yeah.
just under 175 against Jacobs. And then if he can break 1 million in his third fight,
Not
actually,
bad. Not too
this
shabby.
time,
A lot of folks haven't
this
done
time,
that.
it's the first time in his career where he's not fighting someone where he's carrying the promotion.
Right.
And so, you know, when both guys are able to bring their fan bases, I think that's really what, and are at the top level of the sport of boxing, I think that's what the fans respond to.
Absolutely. All right, Tom.
All
We're
right.
all excited, Tom.
I gotta
We're
get
so
it. I gotta
excited.
get
We're
it.
all
track.
about ready to suffer heat stroke.
And I was going to say, I got to get on the track before I start melting.
Exactly. Actually, you don't have to run now, Tom.
This was just a
I'm just
sign.
going to walk a couple laps.
There
I'm
you go.
telling you, man. Yeah.
Hey,
The
thanks
next
for
time-
coming, Tom.
Thanks,
That's what we
Tom.
should-
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks, JP, for coming.
Sure,
too.
yeah, thank you guys. Yeah.
JP,
Yeah.
2 weeks
All right,
in a
Tom.
row.
JP,
Not bad, JP.
It's a big month. We got to
The
get ready for
handicapper.
this. I got to be here.
You know your shit, man.
Yeah. We gotta
All
be
right,
here.
Tom.
All right, Dougie.
Wrap us up with this. How should everybody drive? Do you ever watch what Dave and I say at the end of our periscopes?
Drive like you just won the lottery.
Exactly. How do you drive? Because you seem like the most even-keeled, relaxed, mellow
I try
dude.
to avoid the speeding tickets. You can't drive fast in LA anyway.
No, it's too much
So
traffic.
I figured, you know, with all the traffic, you just drive at a relaxed pace. And
You
it's
try
better
not to be
get there.
distracted with your phone and all. You got a nice phone here. I know Bernie Barmazel's bugging you all the time, right?
Sometimes Bernie's texting me,
Yeah.
and I get distracted. But I just you know, you gotta stay focused on the road and stay in your lane. Who had that shirt? Oh, that was your shirt from Mr. Ball over
Yeah,
there. Stay in
and
your
Andre
lane.
Ward is fond of that saying as well. So
Did
Dave's
Mr. Ball autograph that shirt?
no, he didn't. I'm gonna. Has he left?
No, he's
Next
still-
week.
still,
I'll
still-
get him.
Good.
I'll get him. All right, Tom. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
thanks.
Don't miss
Tom.
September 9th, HBO Superfly, and September 16th, Canelo Triple G on HBO pay-per-view.
I'll be seeing a lot of you this week and next.